Good afternoon, everyone. Today, I would like to present a paper titled The Development of Arduino-based Educational Kit Traffic Light Prototype to Increase the User Basic Knowledge on Writing Simple Arduino Program. So, my name is Brenda Anak Norbert Rabar. I'm from Mechanical Engineering Department from Politeknik Mukah, Sarawak. As an introduction, what is IR 4.0? So the fourth industrial revolution, also called IR 4.0, refers to the latest phase in the industrial revolution, according to Schwab 2016. With the strategic initiative announcement made by the German government of this new phase, industries worldwide began to focus on automation, machine learning, real-time data, and interconnectivity by Rochko 2017. Therefore, Polytechnic too have begun preparing the students for this challenge. One of the efforts made by the Polytechnic lecturers was to set up an IR 4.0 team for the students' final year project, or will be called FYP. One of the cheapest and easiest tools to apply IR 4.0 is by using Arduino created prototype to assist the student in learning and applying IR 4.0 concept. Thus, Arduino-based traffic light prototype project was created to help the student in order to write and manipulate simple programming code for traffic light-based prototype Arduino and how it operates. This project will help the student to gain basic knowledge using Arduino, as we will be programming a traffic light prototype as learning equipment. In literature review, Arduino will be is defined as an easily programmed, erased, and reprogrammed open source microcontroller. The Arduino platform was introduced in 2005, which offers an inexpensive and easy way to assist inexperienced users to control sensors and actuators by constructing and programming electronic devices. So if we look at table 2.1 from Arduino, it will be three types of Arduino, which is Arduino Uno versus Leonardo versus Mega 2560. So the differences will be seen across the boards, the digital I/O, analog inputs, PMW, and program interface between these three types of Arduino. For methodology, I will cover the project planning, the course design of the project, and the learning approach used in order to learning through this Arduino program kit. For project planning, a control group of 40 students who took up the TJJ6143 Project 2 were asked to answer a few short questions on the IR 4.0 concept and Arduino. Based on the obtained result, the flowchart for the whole project planning was constructed, as shown in Figure 3.1 on the left. A few concepts were generated by brainstorming components as shown in Figure 3.2, and the shortlisted concepts were evaluated by using the POC method. Based on the table 3.1, Concept 1 was chosen, since the component listed in Concept 1 is easy to use, power-saving, and durable as compared to two other concepts suggested. In option 1, we will use Arduino R3, and for the board we will use the softwood plywood. The power supply we will be getting the power supply from 12-volt power supply, and as for the LED light, we will use the mini 5-volt LED light. So the cost of the project. For Arduino board will be priced at 40. Power supply, we get one power supply, 45 each. Jumping, we will be getting before 4 jumping wire with 1 ringgit each. Plywood is 30 ringgit for 1 plywood for the board. LED traffic light, there will be 4 of LED traffic light, so each traffic light, LED traffic light will cost us 8 ringgit and 70 cent. Breadboard, 4 breadboard will be used, so the price will be 14 ringgit each. So overall we will have 209 ringgit and 80 cent for the cost of the overall project. Design of the project. So for the design of the project, after much consideration, the final design of the prototype was sketched up and drawn using Autodesk Inventor software. So with the dimension of 1.5 meter length, 0.42 meter width, and 0.07 meter height as shown in figure 3.3. By using the selected concept and the suggested design, the prototype was then fabricated. So this is the prototype. So figure 3.4 and figure 3.5 shown is the finished product of this Arduino based educational kit, traffic light prototype, and schematic diagram for its main circuit using Arduino Uno itself. So this is the finished product, and this is the schematic diagram. For the learning approach, the goal for this kit is to assist students in understanding and writing a simple coding. With the medium of lab sheet that follows a step-by-step guide that the users may use to refer, configure, and program the kit with expected outcome in order to further understand in writing the code. So we will use a lab sheet and a step-by-step guide. So there are 6 steps overall in the learning approach. So the first one is what to learn. In what to learn, we will use the educational kit introduction. So what is Arduino? The second step is what is Arduino. So students will be exposed to the introduction of Arduino and exposed to the theory of Arduino and its feature, and also they will setting up the kit. So in the third step is learning the program. So here the student will be introduced to the introduction to programming and the basic language for the programming. In the fourth step will be the electronic components. The student will be identifying the components involved, and also then the operation. The fifth step is the operation, whereas the introduction to traffic light operation. And then 6, the final step, student will be able to write, will be introduced to writing the program. They will write a sample of label program back, and there will be scenarios and problems that will be given to help users practice with expected outcome. Finding and analysis. At the start of this project, a short survey was distributed in the subject of the final year project theme for December 2019 session. So this is the preliminary review report. Okay, based on this short survey, it is clear that the final year Polytechnic Mukah mechanical engineering student fell in understanding and listing the concept of IR 4.0, thus leading to the discovery upon the difficulties using Arduino and writing up simple Arduino program. So here we can see in the figure 4.1 the result of the preliminary review report. So most of the students for will be this yellow, orange will be for the student that answered no in the review. So almost all of the students, they do not know how to write simple Arduino coding, and then most of the students also do not know how to use Arduino. But most of the students, they know what is Arduino, but most of them also cannot list down all the IR 4.0 components, and most do not understand the IR 4.0 concept, although most of them know about IR 4.0. So this is the preliminary review report. Also in finding and analysis, so what we this is the before and after the where you before and after we run into interference. Figure 4.02 here shows that 85% of students answered no when we asked them if they know how to write simple Arduino coding. So with the targeted responder, 40 students are then allowed to test run the prototype and observe the prototype. So they will go through the lab sheet and they will set up the prototype, and then they will test run the prototype and observing the prototype that were used. Next, after the testing end, the subject then asks the same question on whether they still face difficulties in writing the simple Arduino coding. As shown in 4.3, the percentage of students have that 80% of the students responded that they can write simple Arduino program code after using the prototype. Meanwhile, 15% of them responded they still could not. Then the remaining 5 responded they still require help. So here we can see the differences from 85% students that responded they do not know how to write simple Arduino coding into 80% of the increase of the decrease of the percentage of the students who do not know how to write simple Arduino coding from 85 to 15%. So the percentage of the students that answer yes when they are asked how to write simple Arduino coding program increased from 15 before we ran interference into 80% after we ran interference using the prototype. So here we can conclude that at the end of the project that this prototype can be used as an alternative for the lecturers and students to gain basic knowledge in Arduino program code writing. It was proven that the final year student of Politeknik Mukah Mechanical Engineering course that used the prototype has shown increase in the basic program code writing skill. Compared to the preliminary survey, there is increase of 65% of users managed to overcome the code writing difficulties. So the final year students, they were able to confidently attempting a far more complicated program writing. Thank you for your attention. So this is the end of my presentation. Thank you.